This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely, lovely.
Tell you what though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Hello and very welcome to episode 1 of The Lovely Show.
Isn't that lovely there now?
It's lovely now.
That
With
is
Kevin and Justine, or Justine and Kevin.
We haven't decided that yet.
No.
Leave that open to the listeners.
Yeah,
What
let's
do you
have a vote.
think? Have a vote. But see, it's hard. You know, Ant and Dec. Why is it Ant and Dec? Is that alphabetically?
I would guess so.
Dec and Ant.
Is Ant taller than Dec?
Right. Well, if we're going by height,
Okay.
it's Kevin.
See what I did there?
Yeah. Ah, well played.
Yeah.
Well played. If you're going alphabetically, though,
If you're going alphabetically, it's JK.
JK.
Rowling.
JK. Dolan.
So what is this show? It's
lovely.
It's a lovely show. It's myself and Justine coming on every week to have an old chat. It's basically stuff that's not quite good enough for stand-up, I suppose.
Speak for yourself, is what I said there. You know, I like to test out my material here and bring it down to the stage.
Oh yeah, if it's good enough, it will evolve into
Of course,
stand-up, I think.
yeah. Or sometimes I think maybe I end up saying things that are better than my stand-up jokes in conversation.
Right. You're funnier in a room with no people.
Truly, yeah. Well, so I tell myself anyway. No one to tell me I'm not, so that's always good. But yeah, I think that's a good description of it. And also to be like, you know, because things happen every week in
It's
your
a
life.
busy world.
It's a busy fucking world. And therapy is expensive.
It is.
So I'm kind of cutting out the middleman here.
I want people to pay me for my therapy. It's good stuff, Justine.
Now, you want to pay them,
I
want
want
them
not-
to pay for your therapy sessions, like to pay your counsellor. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or-
I want them to be my counsellor, but them
Right.
also to pay me.
Gotcha.
Lovely stuff.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. You wouldn't have been, or would you have been? I'd say you fitted into the category of like, not in the cool kids, but as in people all thought you were sound.
See, I
floated
switched,
around
I
groups.
switched schools. Oh. So when I was like, after junior cert, I switched schools. So I could completely reinvent myself.
Wow, that's...
So did I tell you the story about the pregnancy scare?
No.
Okay.
I thought you were pregnant.
So I come back into a new school, totally reinvented myself. Everyone's like, who's this cool guy? And where's he from? He's from Granard. And apparently he left around the time that a fire broke out in the school in the science lab. So somebody asked me, hey, did you start the fire and get kicked out of school? And I was like, shut up, will you? Which is the best defense.
Oh, completely. I'm not saying yes or
Yeah,
no.
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying, shut up, don't spread that around. Do spread that around, please. Do spread that around. Tell everyone I'm cool. So everyone thought I was like a twisted fire starter.
You're just carrying a light around all day now at school, just flicking it.
And then one day my female friend asked me, like she was chatting to some girls, and I was about a couple of meters away, and they're like, here, Kevin, have you had sex? And I was like, come on, guys. We're not kids. Come on. That's embarrassing. Come on. You expect me to answer that question?
Shut up, will you?
Shut up. Come on. Don't spread that around. So then the word around that I had sex.
Oh my
And
God.
then suddenly a legendary status. And then they were like, with who? So I was
no.
I'll just name somebody that I had shifted
Oh God.
in disabled toilets at a nightclub. And it was hot and heavy, but nothing penetrative.
Right. Right.
So I gave her name.
Oh God.
And then-
That's bad
And
form.
like, I'm talking, the distance between these two schools is probably, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes.
Right.
Probably about that.
Why did you switch?
Why? Because I wanted to do something in art, and there was not much art in the first school.
right.
There was a great art teacher in the other school. And also a girl I fancied was switching schools. That's the other fucking thing. A girl I fancied was switching schools. And then I was like, cool, okay, I'll get on it. I'm like, Mom, we need to switch schools. So like my mom got all the forms ready and went through it all, visited school, everything's good. Coming up to summer, I'm like, so have you got everything in line for switching schools? She said, I'm not going to bother my arse. It's like, you fucking bitch.
Oh,
So I moved
God.
for a girl that didn't follow.
Lovely.
So anyhow, sidebar. So then somebody asked like, who was the girl? So I gave her name, and one of the lads fucking knew her.
Oh,
I don't know how
God.
he could have.
Oh,
It's like, how could he
God.
possibly? This is separated by miles and miles. So I'm cycling my bike that summer with my friend Noel to get an ice cream.
Lovely.
Like, this is how not having sex I was.
Yeah.
I was cycling to get an ice cream with my friend Noel. And cycling for like a half an hour, like to
That's, oh God, I
let's
did the
go to a
same
different ice
thing.
cream shop.
Yeah.
So I'm cycling my bike. I had a mobile phone at that stage. It goes off and it's your man. He's like, well, Kevin, how's it going? And I was like, well, what's the crack? What are you up to? It's like, oh, just having sex with people probably. Definitely not cycling to get an ice cream. And he said, come here, I'm changing her name here. Mairead's here.
Oh,
And
God.
I was like, all right. Yeah, she's a bit of news. And she's like, hi, Kevin, how's it going? How are you keeping? Grand, how are you? She's like, grand, yeah, a bit of news. I found out I'm pregnant. And I think you're the father, like.
Oh, my
And
God.
I was like, oh, all right. Do you remember, like, when you were young? Now, if you get caught in a lie, you just come out and just be like, okay, I was lying. I'm a liar.
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I think you weigh up the damage of continuing
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
lie,
yeah.
so you just get out of it. Unless you're a child or you're in a sitcom, you keep going down the route of the lie. So I was like, all right. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm going to keep it anyway. So look, I'll be on to you about, money and stuff like that for supporting the child. So I go back into school after the summer and everyone's talking about it. It's like, Kevin got a girl pregnant. Kevin got to get the new lad. Got a girl pregnant. And then I can't remember how it went. Oh, it eventually ended up with your man, the lad who knew it, just like telling everybody I'm a massive big virgin liar. It was awful, Justine.
Oh,
My entire reputation in tatters.
Oh, God.
In tatters. I was like a disgraced politician.
Yeah, no, that's move school again, surely.
Had to move school again.
Oh, God. Was she actually pregnant or was that just a
No,
lie?
no.
All right.
He obviously told her. He obviously said to her, like, "Here, do you have sex with him?" She was like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, he said you did." And then he said, "I have an idea."
But you know what? Isn't that very progressive of that boy because he believed her?
He was not a progressive lad.
Oh, God. Right.
This was not. Yeah, this lad wasn't at the front of the repeal the eighth
Ah,
protest.
Jesus. That's upsetting now. I thought I was like, isn't that great? Feckin'
I know. I'm not. In case he's listening, I'm not slagging him off. But he's just like he saw a laugh and he went for the laugh.
yeah.
It wasn't for women's rights. He was doing it,
no.
Justine.
Yeah, fuck's sake. A girl can dream.
But yeah, I remember that of like you get caught in a lie and you just. I remember like setting off my auntie's. I was picking stones in my auntie's house, and I set off her house alarm, and my mind immediately thought, okay, so if I break a window and just set the house on fire, then it'll be.
Jeez, you were mad for starting fires.
Yeah, maybe I
Fucking
was.
school,
But it
the
was-
house.
It was like, yeah, if I just start a fire, a small fire, I'll put it out. Then it'll be a
Get your
different thing. So I don't know, yeah. Lying your way out of lies.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Jesus Christ.
Luckily, she just arrived in. She goes, "Oh, the alarm's gone off there. You hit the window or something." I was like, "Yeah, is that fine?" She's like, "Yeah, it's grand. I just like put it off. It's fine."
Like, I think the worst I ever did was the odd time I'd lie to be like, oh, I'm sick. I want to stay at home. I don't want to go to school. I think that's the worst. But I've heard of people that has progressed into they double down on the lie. I think it was someone on Graham Norton was talking about it of like they ended up having their that thing people appendix removed.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
They
oh yeah, because they kept doubling down on it. The
they
perfectly healthy appendix been removed.
Yeah, they went like to the doctor and the doctor would press and they suddenly would just be like, oh, it's unbearable. And then
Oh
they were
my
in the hospital. Like,
God.
imagine that.
Yeah, unnecessary
at that point,
surgery.
No, at that point I have to be like,
Here, lads.
but also I think the surgeon then, after it was removed, said something like, we got just in time. And you're like, no, you're lying.
I do remember getting a train from Galway to Dublin, and I just bought a ticket to Athenry.
Oh, I'd never do
So,
that now.
Get off at Athenry. The guys come around collecting tickets. I pretend I'm asleep. I'm just a sleepy man. Don't wake up a sleepy man.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, ticket, and I was like, oh yeah, where are we? And he's like, this is Athenry. We've passed Athenry. I was like, oh no, I've missed my stop. And he's like, right, okay, so there's going to be, I need you to give me your ID. It's going to be a small fine. And I was like, I don't have ID. And he's like, where do you live? So I gave my mate's address in Galway that I just visited. and he was like, ring him to prove you live there. So I ring up. I was like, hi, Giles. I'm just here on the train. I fucking fell asleep on the bloody thing. So the driver just wants to know where I live in our house, where I live with you. So he just wants you to prove that that's where I live and you to give him the address now. So Giles is a pro at this. I think he's done it several times himself.
Unbelievable.
He rattled it off. And man's like, so you've no ID, so we will be stopping in Navan, I think it was. And we're going to get the guards, and I'll just put you onto the guards, and then they can prove your ID. And I was like, yeah, that's 100%. That's 100%.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's 100%. Oh yeah, we'll get this sorted out. I just want to get this sorted out as quick as possible. So we arrived. He fobbed me off to two guards, and I just went, I was lying, and the guards just went, fuck's sake, and walked away and just turned around. And I had to pay the fine of like, fucking, it was a lot. I feel like it was like several €100, yeah.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Lovely stuff.
One thing I used to do though, when you're saying about giving an address, anytime I had a guy that was like, can I have your number or whatever, I couldn't be like, no, because I would just like, I always feel like they're gonna get angry or something, I get scared. So I always had listed off my friend Daryl's phone number, and I would give them his number. And then Daryl ended up being texted by this guy, thinking it was our mate, another lad, and he was like texting me like, hey, how are things? He was like, oh, good man, what's up? Talking away, and it was only when this lad back in those days sent him a chain message being like, tell me who you love and who you fancy, or you will have bad luck for 10 years. And Tara was like, what the fuck is Alan asking this of me for? And then he realised it was some lad trying to...
That could have been so awkward for so long.
Oh yeah.
Send me a picture of your arse. It was like, all right, send me a picture of yours. Just two lads wanking over each other's, two hetero boys just wanking over each other's arses, thinking it's like a sexy woman. You've a big old hairy arse in you. I love that. Good country woman's arse.
I'll be honest, my friend Daryl definitely would have a more feminine looking arse than I do nearly. Your man would
Get
have
it
loved
up.
it.
Let's see it.
He would have loved it, I'd say. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that's the worst of problem. No, yeah, I could never...
You're not a big liar. I'm a big liar. I lied
Not
so
with
much.
authority figures and stuff. I'm like, oh no, this is scary now. I'd be on edge. I respect authority, and I shouldn't, because look at them. A lot of the time you're like,
You'd be an awful punk.
I'd be terrible.
You'd be a terrible
I'm
punk.
a complete nerd. I am a diehard. Like.
You'd have songs like, everybody pay for the Lewis. It's a service that we all use.
That should be the jingle. That should be the official jingle. Like even that, and I'm so into everyone not paying. I love that, and I love that people
But
don't.
you
But
just
I
don't
do.
want to do it.
But I do.
So you respect the
pathetic.
revolution, but you just don't want to be a part of it.
I want to be a part of it. I'm just scared.
How would you have fared in the Easter Rising?
Do you know what? Here's the advantage of me being the way I am. People don't suspect me of being bold, so I'll get away with things. So I could have been a
Countess
helping hand.
Markovich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because people are like, she's just a woman being a woman, being all, you know.
She seems like a nice woman who
She's
wouldn't
a
rock
nice
the
little
boat.
lady who wouldn't do anything wrong.
But you're in there in the inside rocking the fuck out of that boat.
100%.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I still say you wouldn't join the Easter Rising. I think you'd be like, guys, I think the Brits are doing a great job.
Oh Jesus!
I
No,
love the
no,
big
no,
red
no,
post box.
No. But you know, there's no way I couldn't get behind that now. No way. That's,
You don't know, Justine.
Oh,
You don't know what it's. You could have been like the Guinness family.
That's upsetting when you realise. I heard they're making a series like Peaky Blinders about the Guinness family.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Same creators.
You can understand though if you're running like a hugely successful business, and then all the boys are like, "Here, do you want to fucking wreck the country?" They're like, I don't know. We're doing quite well under this regime.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tricky one. I don't know. Do you know what it would probably take? Similar to you moving school for a girl. If there was a guy in the Easter Rising that I was like,
Sexy guy.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it every time.
Hey, Justine, want to join the cause?
Yeah, I'm there.
Got a little balaclava for you here.
Got a little rising for you right here. I'm there. I'm there. That's all it would take.
I like that.
Yeah, there should totally be a porno.
Easter Rising porno. The rising of the moon. The pikes will be together. I got a pike. I'm gonna hide in your thatch. Mind if I hide my big iron pike in your thatch?
Michael Collins didn't die for this. My God.
This is exactly what he died for. I think he'd be enjoying this.
Yeah. Well, we can bring in the Lego version as well. I just really want to see them build
What was
their own
Michael
erection.
Collins' nickname?
I couldn't tell you.
The big fella.
Oh, there you go. There you fucking
Hey, are you
go.
friends with the big fella? No, but I'd like to be.
Have you met him? I'd like to. There you go. Absolutely.
Fucking writes itself.
Absolutely.
Eamon De Valera would be a little cook in the corner,
Oh,
just
yeah.
watching.
100%.
Just like watching in a little behind the shelf.
That lad. I couldn't.
No.
Never talked to him now.
No, he never took to him either.
No.
Lovely stuff.
I'm very intrigued by what you let your kids watch, okay? Because when I look back at some of the fairy tales and stuff growing up, they were all a bit ridey. Like, do you know Cinderella and he was looking to get her foot shoe her shoe on her foot?
Your recall ability is unreal.
I blocked it out, Kevin, for good reason.
Cinderella, she had a club foot or something. You only get a foot surgeon to fix her foot.
I literally transformed into my father trying to describe any film. But he's trying to get the perfect shoe to fit on her foot.
Yes.
He had a foot fetish, clearly. This lad
Like
was going around
Tarantino.
looking at, he was going around looking at
And all the women of the entire village get their feet out.
Get your feet out, I want to look at them. That's absolutely what it was. And
Do the voice.
if you look there now at your foot, will you? Oh, jeez, that's why you say 6, are you? Oh, Jesus, no, huh? That type of
I have
thing.
a glass slipper for you here. I'm going to slip it on. Hope you don't mind.
He could like a glass
Also,
slipper.
a glass slipper.
That's
fucking
disgusting.
useless.
Clearly, you just wanted to look at.
That's going to break.
foot.
You're going to fucking cut the shit out of your foot.
That's what I heard someone recently, they'd made shoes out of chocolate. I'm like, well, that's going to melt. You'll not even get to the pub.
That does sound like a joke. Like, here, send the young lad out for a chocolate shoe.
Absolutely. Like a chocolate teapot.
Yeah.
You know, but that, so foot fetish. And then also Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, I really think that was the first like polyamorous relationship.
You think she was fucking those dwarves?
I don't know. But
You ever seen the Rammstein video?
No.
Rammstein did a video and it was like a sexy version of Snow White and it was fucking unreal. Like all the
Right.
band were all playing the dwarves and they were digging away with big machines in the mines.
Oh, yeah.
And then this like
Snickers trousers on the
rail-
lot of them. Snickers trousers on the lot of them.
Snickers. I don't know what you said. And then they did an actress playing Snow White. She was fucking unreal. And it was very erotic for a young teenage boy like myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see.
That, you know, and like they sexualized all of them. And again, you look at Halloween.
Do you think if they were having sex with her, they all stood on each other's shoulders and wore a big trench coat, and only one of them really got to have sex with them?
I'd like to dream. And I really like to think that that's what happened. It's just sad. Kids won't have the den.
I'm so. I think the fact that we had like an arrogant, sarcastic turkey from Dublin, he really influenced our sense of humour.
Completely.
Like he had no respect for anybody.
And we all accepted that and loved that fact.
Yeah, like Mary Robinson, the president of the country, was on, and he was ripping the piss out of her. Like, in what country could you have that? A fucking turkey that looks like he was taken out of a hospital bin,
Yeah.
giving abuse to the head of state. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
But I feel like our kids won't have that same sort of sense of wildness and humour.
And also Don Conroy. What's going on? What do they have?
Owl fetishist. That man's got a sick fascination.
There's
with owls.
something going on.
Like after your 400th owl, you're like, all right, here, man, draw a fucking kangaroo or something.
Something else. Yeah, absolutely. Come on. There's something deeper
I'm not saying,
there.
I'm not suggesting that anything's about to come out, but if it does, I'll
Wouldn't
not
be
be one
surprised.
bit surprised.
No, I'll not be surprised.
Somebody's called up to his hotel room, and they're like, "There's a disturbance up in room 314, and there's just feathers everywhere." Get out! Get the fuck out of here! There's a sign on the door. I'm sorry, Mr. Conroy, but we've had complaints of a disturbance. There's a lot of cooing. There's a lot of cooing coming from the room. And he just pays off the hotel manager.
It makes sense though that he was on with Dustin because that was like 1 degree of separation.
Hi,
like,
Justin.
his
Hi,
feathers.
Don. Was there ever any tension between them?
Was there?
I don't know.
I think he was trying to use Dustin to get to like his cousin, the owl.
Did you fucking hang out with many owls, Dustin?
Dustin, yeah.
What are you doing for Christmas? Do you meet up with the family? Any owls in the family? Okay. I'll stop asking.
Oh God! But kids don't have him or like an equivalent.
Yeah. Do you ever send in any drawings?
Of course, I was picked
Of
as the
what?
drawn of the week.
Did you fuck?
I have a
What
den
was your-
jumper at home.
What was your drawing?
Drew a dog because I was still am obsessed with dogs. And
Original.
yeah. Well, it wasn't a fucking owl, so it would have been funny if he looked back and he only ever picked owls as the drawn of the week. That would have been the
So
funniest
Don
thing.
going through it like a fucking dog. I can't wank to this. Don, we need to pick somebody else. All right. Fucking this one from Nobber. I'll pick this one from Nobber. All right. Thanks, Don.
But you know what it gets? Like he described it as well. I remember coming home every evening like, I wonder if they'll show my drawing this week. And
Yeah.
then it was shown and I was like, oh my God, I lost my mind. But he also said it looked like Fionn McCool's dog. And I was like, cool.
Oh, is that an Irish Wolfhound?
Yeah,
Wow.
I am obsessed. But
He was a cool dog.
he was a fucking good.
He looked like Sam Elliott.
Do you remember as well? Oh my God, exactly.
Irish Wolfhounds look like Sam Elliott.
Absolutely. Because you remember Oisin, the dog that used to be on morning shows? See,
No.
that might have been a bit later. There was like this Irish Wolfhound that used to be on with, I think Sinead Kennedy. She used to do a
Really?
show Toast, I think it was called, on a Saturday
Right.
morning, and there was Oisin, the Irish Wolfhound.
That is familiar. That is
Real
familiar,
dog,
yeah.
and I was obsessed. Which is why
That's because like
Cavan-
the Blue Peter had like a lovely Labrador and we had a dirty old
Oh,
grey horse dog.
Absolutely stunning. Oh, you couldn't do any wrong. Because that's why if I ever got married, which I never will, most likely. But if I do, fucking Cabra Castle in Cavan because they have Irish Wolfhounds.
Oh.
It's like only 15 minutes up the road
And
from me.
you'd arrive in on
On-
dog back.
On the Irish Wolfhound.
Just your husband waiting
I might
there.
just marry an Irish Wolfhound. I don't know.
we'll
Who
see.
knows? We'll see. But he
The way
picked
things
that.
are going, you will be allowed to in a couple of years.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, I remember one of my finer moments, and it happened to me when I was 11 years old. I was in hospital. I had an infection in my bone, right? And
In your bone?
Yeah, which is impressive that I got in that deep. So I had to have 3 operations where they scraped away the bone
Ugh.
in my foot. And I was in Louth in Drogheda Hospital, and there isn't a children's hospital there, but I was on the 4th floor ward, which was for
You had to put on a
kiddies.
fake beard. Pretend you're an old man. My name's Justin Stafford.
Don't bring my father into this. But I was up there. Anyway, so then I got back out and I was back in school, and that was all well. And this raffle came up in the school to win the new Slimline PlayStation 2, because before that was the big thick one, the big boy,
yeah.
which we owned, in fairness now. So it was to win the new Slimline one, which could do new things as well. It added features, and also to win the new Buzz game show quiz game with
Yeah,
it, which
I
came with
remember
the buzzers class. So it was in our primary school. I'd never won a raffle in my life. And the night before, and this is my only moment of like, wow, I'm not mad that happened. I prayed to the man himself upstairs. I said,
You're a lad.
Mr. said, Don Conroy, Mr. Jesus, if you are there, if I win this.
Only if you're not busy.
if you're not
I
busy.
wouldn't annoy you if I didn't think.
Yeah.
And feel free to tell me to fuck off.
You're dead right. You'd be well within your rights.
You have a lot in your plate. Kosovo is probably raging at this point. The Middle East is in a shambles, but there's a raffle in Nobber.
Yeah. Quebec National School, and I was like, if I win it, I'll give it to the 4th floor ward in Drogheda Hospital because there was no toys or anything.
What?
Yeah. I said,
This
if I
was your
win it-
plan?
This was my plan.
Were you trying to trick Jesus?
Well, what happened was the next day I won the raffle. I won the Slimline PlayStation. I was like, you fucked me here now, because now I have to keep my word, because if I don't, sure, I'll end up.
That's it.
gate to hell will be opened.
He pulls that so
Isn't
many
that a
times.
clever little fecker now? And
Yeah.
all the times I prayed to him, will my feckin', bone heal? Didn't. I had to
No.
go back and have 2 more operations. You didn't do much there, did you? But when I said I'd give the bloody PlayStation to the kids,
So did you give the PlayStation?
of course I did. Yeah, I had to.
He got
He
you.
got me.
He fucking
Little
got you.
fecker. And that's the only time in my life I've ever had any moment of like, Jesus, that actually worked. Where he came
I would have been
through.
like, you know what, Jesus, fair play to you. Fair play to you.
You've done your bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing mine.
This is typically you now, but like you painted yourself into that corner.
I did, yeah. But look, it was a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, because the kids had... My brother, I don't think will ever forgive me because he really wanted that game.
So, this poor sick children of Drogheda Hospital playing GTA 3, just stealing cars and killing prostitutes. Now, every time you kill a prostitute, think of Justine Stafford. I will, sir. I definitely will, sir. Thank you, Justine.
That is my legacy that I will leave. Love that. Yeah.
Wow. God works in fucking annoying ways.
He's a trickster now.
He is a bit of a trickster
Isn't he?
god, yeah.
A character. I don't know if I wouldn't be into it now these days.
I've gone off him.
Oh, I've gone along off him. I'm on the light version now. Jesus, light.
Christianity light.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be for me now. And I keep getting Christian algorithm on my Instagram, and I don't know why. It's like coming
Really?
up videos of priests like trying to do TikToks, dancing, and like guys benching and being like, my problem with Christian boys these days is they have no arm game, bro. You got to be like Apostle Hyacinth, who was the saint of weightlifting. Now, I thought this was a piss take. I thought this was ironic. Looked it up. No. This Polish saint, Hyacinth, was the saint of
Like, I mean, what
weightlifting.
year are we talking, like 1980s or what?
Wait till I get it up again. I was
The
like...
Apostle Hyacinth.
I think it was Hyacinth. I want to say, I could get that name wrong, but I look at it now. He was Polish.
Patron saint, but the patron saints of everything.
It was patron saint, though, of something mental. It was like patron saint of weightlifting. Okay, here we go.
All right, go on.
Saint Hyacinth was canonized April 17th, 1594.
What?
Okay.
Were people lifting weights back then?
Pope 96. Sorry, this is an interesting name for a pope. Pope Innocent.
Until proven guilty.
Okay.
We'll see.
Named him a patron saint of Lithuania. He is the patron saint of those in danger of drowning and weightlifting.
Wow.
What an insane combo.
See, Christians, especially
Weightlifting.
Catholics, have a lot of saints.
They do.
A lot of saints.
Yeah.
And we're not really supposed to have that many, but I was at a dinner party once and there was a girl from, I think it was somewhere in South America, but she was telling us about this mad saint. And she was like, we have a saint that if you pray to this saint, if you don't want to get caught doing something bad. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, like if you're cheating on your husband.
Here.
If you're cheating on your husband, you don't want to get caught, you pray to the saint. If you're doing like bad stuff and you don't want to get caught. And I was like, how did this saint come about, the story? She was a woman. And she was walking on the docks. And these two sailors, they come up to her and they try and rape her. And
Oh God, this took a dark
it did
turn.
take a dark turn. But when they looked at her vagine, it had turned into an elbow. She became a saint.
That's the elbow name the band
After this. It's gone into an elbow, lads. I'm not.
Try and arm wrestle with there. What?
Yeah. And she was like, she is a saint. I don't know if it's Mexico or South America. Hence why my accent's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, it sounded it. That sounds like the opposite of Saint Anthony. Like the bad Saint Anthony or something. Because he's helping you find things and be honest and
Yeah.
good. That's like the polar opposite.
This is the anti-Anthony.
The anti-Anthony.
Yeah.
Completely. I think there should be a patron saint of fingering or something if that's the logic.
Well, I mean, go down to South America. They've got buckets of them for all kinds of stuff, yeah.
An elbow.
An
I don't know.
elbow.
I'm never going to
I
look at an
remember
elbow
she
the
was saying,
same
like,
way again.
It turned into an elbow. I don't
That
know.
would be a great superpower, though. That would be great. An
Try
elbow.
me.
I'm just like, that is
The
mental.
least sexy part of a woman's body.
Do you think?
An elbow, yeah.
I think, because I don't think toes are all that great.
I'm okay with toes.
Do you think elbows are?
There's websites dedicated to fucking toes.
That's
Justine.
true, yeah. But
Nobody's
definitely,
jerking off to Taylor Swift's elbow.
We don't know that, and I would speculate there definitely is someone.
Probably is
There
someone.
absolutely is.
Sick
Do
fuckers.
you think what would be the least attractive part on any human body?
I mean, the gooch isn't great
The gooch.
on a lad. Elbow
Knees,
just looks
knees.
like testicle skin.
Get you, yeah. Knees can look like,
Knees can be ugly, but can also be lovely.
yeah.
Elbows, I've never seen an elbow. I was like, yes.
I think, yeah. That's interesting. No, not that I have a thing for elbows, but I just think they're getting a bad rap here.
Maybe. The Rock had a great elbow. That was the people's elbow.
It absolutely was. He's a great eyebrow
That
too.
belonged to all of us.
The people's vagina, really. Oh God! Wow.
Dark story, but an
Very dark.
unusual one.
Bizarre. I want
of
to
funny.
research that now afterwards. That hasn't come up on my Christian algorithm yet, though. That one hasn't.
God.
But it won't. And I don't know what I searched for now. Me to be just completely inundated with Christian algorithm.
Do you give off a vibe?
Do I?
Yeah.
Do I?
Do you give off a sort of like she needs salvation?
She needs to have it. Yeah, she needs to find Jesus.
She needs to find. You need to find Jesus.
I might. Do I? I don't think I'm that.
Would
Broken.
you'd be sinful though? I'd say you'd be fairly sinful.
Oh, I'll be simple enough now.
I'd say you'd covet your neighbour's wife or dog. What is it? What are you not supposed to covet? Goods and wife.
Goods and wife. Yeah, look it.
Would you covet your neighbour's PlayStation 2 Slimline?
Oh, look it. I did my bit now. Do you know? Fair
I
is fair.
No, I think that story does put you into the good category.
You would think, yeah. And here's the thing: I read a quote once that said, sometimes you wonder, God, am I a bad person, right? But the quote basically is that, well, a bad person wouldn't care if they're a bad person. I'm like, sure, I'm fine. So,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
phew.
It's like a test for a psychopath or a sociopath. If you ask, are you a sociopath, then you're probably not.
Not, yeah.
But what if you're so narcissistic that you're
That's
just
the
like,
thing.
oh, I just want to know.
I know. That's where there's a bit of a grey area there that I don't like. And I don't like to think about it because I'm like, oh God, I might. Oh no. No, I don't think about it. But it might just be that I'm on dating apps and stuff that it's seeing that I'm not really matching, that it's like, maybe we'll just give her Jesus.
It's interesting though that like single women like yourself are getting like religious algorithms, whereas like single men are getting pure like misogyny and hate.
Andrew Tate, like, yeah.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
That's mad because you have all these lads. And I think at the end of the day, they just want a girlfriend. They just want someone to show them more love than their mother gave them
Yeah.
and have someone to cuddle. And like they're getting these lads like, women are the enemy and they should be conquered. And it's just driving them further away from women.
Completely. And because they find a community of people similar, they think, sure, this is grand. Incel behaviour, like, pure and pure.
We love women. We fucking hate them though. We want them, but we
can't,
fucking
yeah.
don't need them.
Yeah.
Like
it's-
so many confusing ideas. Clean your bedroom.
yeah, that's the main point, really. But yeah, but then like apps are fucked. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, lads come up now and there actually isn't one single picture of them on it. It's just one lad came up and he just had a picture of the sea. I was like,
Whenever I get a shitty comment on Twitter, it's always the picture of a sea or a football team.
yeah, football team crest.
It's
Oh,
always a crest
absolutely.
or a fucking picture of the sea. And I was like, lad, if you don't have the balls to
show
even
your
show
face
your own
or
face,
your name.
then I'm not arguing with
No,
you.
completely. It's absolutely pathetic. Like, it's just, but on apps as well, I'm like, how am I meant to match with the sea? Like, which one?
Maybe, yeah.
Which one of? I know there's plenty of fish in it per se, but which fucking one are you? Like,
Baltic Sea?
one lad just had a picture of his watch. That was the only picture on his whole
Oh, yeah.
account.
Well,
His
girls
watch.
are so impressed by fancy watches.
Don't get me wrong. I love a lad with a watch on.
Do you?
Does something to me.
I think lads have become so obsessed with watches because we don't have a lot of jewellery. Or like we can't show our wealth with like a handbag
Jeez, I
or
wouldn't do
like
that either.
or a fancy ring. So that's why lads spend like $1,000 on a watch.
I'm not looking for a fancy watch here, Kevin. That's not what it's about for me. I just love a lad who has a watch because I'm like, oh my God, you value and care about what time of day it is. In the sense of like, there's
Oh, you're
lads that I'm
literally
like,
talking about like somebody who got their first Holy Communion and got a fucking Casio.
yeah. No, I don't like a digital watch. I love an analog watch.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it has to be. And it's just like, class, you care about timekeeping and not just to be like, I'll look at my phone to see the time.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why that I'm like, class, love that. My standards are so low,
They're
Kevin.
so fucking low. Like you just want a man with basic organizational skills. It's like, oh, what he's got a pillowcase that he hasn't had since college. That's so hot.
That's unreal. Like, I'm really not asking for much.
Oh, a toilet brush. Somebody cleans their toilet.
Toilet roll. Oh my God. Luxury. Not kitchen roll.
I remember in college you would have been so disgusted.
Using a
I used-
towel.
I used to
Oh,
rob
you
my
lads.
toilet roll from
College.
No, there was a spud restaurant There was a baked
Jesus.
potato restaurant I used to go to in Aberdeen. All baked potatoes. It wasn't really a restaurant. It was like a cafe.
Okay.
But it was all baked potatoes. You can get anything. Tuna fish, beans, just butter, mayonnaise. Anything you could put in a spud, they put in a spud.
Wow.
But they had a very lax approach to toilet roll security. And I used to rob it.
You wouldn't think you'd need much security around the toilet
No, I
roll in
suppose.
their defence.
Well, like now they've got them locked inside of these little
Yeah,
circular
sure.
cages.
Yeah.
And you need a special key.
You want God, for the days when toilet roll could roam free.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping them in cages now.
The trust in society is just eroded.
Gone.
Lovely stuff.
I got accepted into IADT to do filmmaking, and you had to submit a portfolio. So even before I did my leaving cert, I was told, yeah, you can come here. But I was like, that's not in the city centre. And then my parents were like, you can do film and broadcasting with Irish in DIT. So you could be an Irish teacher at the end, because they're still dead set on you can be a teacher, Justine.
You can have an actual job.
Exactly. But halfway through the course, the Irish got discredited and not recognised by any college. So, by any college of like teacher training. So
That's annoying.
that was the end of that. Which, I mean, I never could have done it anyway. It wasn't.
How were you? How did you settle into the college lifestyle? Was it like
Well,
Animal House?
I was very not street savvy. Like I was book smart, but that was the height of it. Like I had no common sense.
You got off the bus and was, hey, a wallet inspector. You're like, oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I hope everything's in order.
When do I get that back?
Jesus. And then I was mental in that I went back. Did I tell you that? That I did 2 college courses at once.
What? No.
Yeah, so I did a full year in DIT, and then my parents were like, would you not do primary school teaching? So I found a little loophole that I had gotten 560 in the leaving cert, which also my parents were like, you're wasting it, because my course was like 340 pounds.
Right.
I was a nerd.
Right.
I was an uber nerd, like. So my parents were like, would you not try the teaching? So basically I registered, and I was in second year in DIT doing media, and I was in first year St. Pat's doing primary school teaching. I re-registered on the
my
CAO.
God.
So I was going from one lecture
This
to...
sounds like a wacky 90s comedy. Like Robin Williams stars as double college guy.
So I was going from like a lecture in DIT, and then I'd be going to Pat's, and like in Pat's I'd be like, you just did do the leaving cert, did you? I'm like, no, I just came from a lecture in DIT. And they're like, what is your life? And then my friends in DIT were like, what are you doing?
Was there ever a moment where the 2 lecturers from both colleges wanted to meet you for dinner at the same restaurant? You had to go into the Jack's
And
to
wearing a
change your
moustache.
outfit.
But I realised very quickly that you don't have to pay your fees until 31st of October. So I did both courses from...
Halloween.
Yeah. So I did both courses until 31st of October, and then realised going back to do teaching was a real course. Like it was 9 to 5 everyday lectures. And this was like the proper primary school teaching course. And then I just gotten too used to like 5-hour gaps in my media course where there was nothing to do during the day. I was like, I can't go back.
God, media college is so much
It was a
easier.
joke, an absolute joke.
Say we're going to watch a film. Class.
Absolute joke. Where did you go?
I went to Aberdeen first of all,
Right.
and then I went to Wolverhampton. Then I went to
Was that to follow a girl as well?
No, that was to follow a dream. I
dream of a girl.
wanted to do something in so media, digital media. Didn't like it. Came back to Dublin. Went not Dunleary, Colossus Dooley,
Oh.
which is like I couldn't get in anywhere else basically,
Right.
and I also cheated like in lots of different ways.
You'd be praying to that saint.
I'd borrowed I'd borrowed a portfolio and just like there's all my
Oh
stuff,
my God.
and I cheated up
Yeah,
in the
we
leaving
were very
cert.
different people. Do you know
Yeah.
that? You cheat on your leaving cert.
Oh yeah, good bit.
Wow, we were very
Still didn't even do that well.
That's
That's
impressive.
annoying. I remember my business studies teacher catching me cheating, and I'd done it in such an inventive way, which I also did for leaving cert. I was good at like computer stuff, so I'd on like a version of kind of Photoshop. I had written out everything I needed to know, and I scanned in like a label for Fanta, and I put it up where the ingredients are,
Jesus
and I put it where the
Christ.
barcode is. So if you look at it from like 2 foot away, it looks
It's
totally
just like,
normal.
yeah.
But if you stared at really, I could probably ruin my eyesight.
Mother of God.
I had so much information, and my business studies teacher found it, and she was like, "How long did it take you to do this?" And I was like, "About 4 hours." And she was like,
could have
"She was like,
learned.
you could have learned all this in like 2." And she was like, "I'm impressed by the amount of work you put into this, but like, you need to focus your effort legitimately." And I was like, "No," I just refused to learn.
No, we were very different. Like I had a mental
I'm
breakdown.
like Bart Simpson. You're like Lisa.
Yeah, I had a mental breakdown after English paper 1 because I didn't get to finish the paper, and I thought I'd ruined my whole. I was that fucker that everyone hated who wanted more paper, and I did not get to finish my English paper 1, and I had a breakdown of like, I'm just not doing the rest of the Leaving Cert because I was like, I've clearly failed. I can't. If I fail English, I can't pass my Leaving Cert.
My God.
Principal had to ring my home house, being like, Justine, you come in tomorrow. You'll come in and you'll give it a go. And I was like, there's no point. I've failed. And a teacher that I'd never had, the next day I came in and I was having a little cry, and he was like, just go in for half an hour and see what happens. So I was in there, bawling, crying, doing paper 2.
Tear-stained papers.
Tear-stained papers. I think that's what got me through, that the examiner saw that. But I wrote an apology to the examiner saying, I'm so sorry that I fucked this yesterday, and I know that there's no redeeming, and like I was a loser. Got an A2.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Tragic when I look at it now. I'm like, God,
I remember
was a loser.
my Leaving Cert English paper was a story I wrote about a lad going to kill the president. A lad who wakes up in a plane heading to the White House, eating a Mars bar on the toilet. And he just wakes up and he's eating a Mars bar on the toilet. And he patches together the last 6 hours of his life, and he realizes, like, holy shit, I'm a terrorist. And then he goes ahead, crashes into the White House. I was like, fucking hell. This is like obviously after 9/11. But I was thinking back in it there. I was like, oh shit, that I could have been fucking reported.
Jesus, FBI coming to your house. Good Lord. What did you get?
Can't remember, but I did okay. I did good in English.
You just reminded me of, like, mine was so tragic. I wrote this like a love story of 2 going on a fucking Ferris wheel, and it stops and breaks at the top, and the boy falls out and dies. And what fell out of his pocket, her name was Ruby, key factor here. What fell out of his pocket,
It was a
little
Rubik's
box.
Cube.
She opened this little box, and it was a ruby fucking ring, and it said, marry me, Ruby.
Oh.
That is the most tragic. I actually can't believe I have been an absolute loser, just obsessed with.
I'm after reading the story here. It's written by this clearly deranged teenager. Tears all over the pages. Look at, give her a fucking A2.
She's clearly going
She's
through
going
something.
through some stuff here.
She's clearly single. Good Lord. Like, that is actually so tragic.
My only hope is that she gets into comedy, because she can't be a teacher. No way.
Oh no, she wouldn't last a day. And I wouldn't. With secondary school kids, they'd bully me.
Yeah, they'd destroy you.
Oh yeah. Primary, I might get away with it. Not 5th and 6th class, not a chance. But
Right, well, Justine, this has been lovely.
this has been lovely.
Yeah. You've been listening to The Lovely Show with Kevin and Justine. Or Justine and Kevin.
Kevin, we still haven't figured that out yet. We can change it every single week.
Still looking for a sponsor. So if you like the topics that were discussed today and you feel, yeah, let's associate our brand with this chat,
Oh yeah.
give us a shout.
Go on. The phone lines are open.
What have you got to lose? Only your job.
Yeah. I
As
like
a
the
marketing
mystery
manager.
of that. The, like, the risk. Gotta take a risk in life.
Yeah. If you like risky business, then fucking get into bed with us. Just like Rebecca De Mornay did with Tom Cruise in the film with the same name. This has been lovely. We'll see you all again soon.
Absolutely.
Slán.
Good luck.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.